All right, joining me now to discuss Harris and Slotkin backtracking on Biden's EV mandates is the Executive Director at Alliance for Consumers, O.H. Skinner. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on to talk about something important to consumers.
Okay, Slotkin voted against the Unlocking Our Domestic LNG Potential Act, the Restoring American Energy Dominance Act, and the Preserving Choice in Vehicle Purchases Act. So how does she get to say that she's not for EV mandates when she voted against new energy bills and keeping choice in automobiles?
I think this is one of those moments where people realize that consumers are onto them. I mean, the most important thing to understand is the Biden-Harris administration has proposed rules where the EPA's own estimates are the primary way that auto companies can meet the requirements is to make it so that 70% of the cars on the road in just a few years are EVs. So whether it's that, whether it's net zero commitments where you're not allowed to have any of these cars that are not electric cars, every step of the way, the left has been proposing massive shifts, wholesale changes, wiping off the majority of the cars that we drive and banning them completely. And it's only now that they're actually interacting with regular people that they're suddenly trying to claim that they don't want to tell anybody what car to drive. It makes no sense.
She also, by the way, voted against the Hands Off My Appliances Act. Okay, so
it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. It's your dishwashers, your refrigerators, your cars. In every one of these instances, the Biden administration and their allies in Congress are trying to wipe away 60, 70, 80% of what people currently can buy. And then they try to say, we're not taking away choice because they're leaving 10% of people, the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, will still be able to buy a $3,000 refrigerator. And so they say there's still choice. Well, if you're a regular person, and the only thing you can buy is $3,000 and everything else has been wiped off the market, that doesn't feel like choice. And that feels like you're getting lied to. That's why people are mad.
We know Joe Biden loves his Corvette. Barack Obama posted a picture of himself and Bruce Springsteen with a vintage Corvette. It seems like what they're saying is, this is for you people. And I say it on my radio show all the time, socialism is for the people, not the socialist. Like you said, we're not taking away your choice entirely. We're just making it near impossible for you to make that choice. Kind of like government-run education. Sure, if you want to pay the taxes and take your kids out of the government-run school and put them somewhere else, we'll let you do that, but you're paying us first. 90% of the people in this country cannot afford to pay their property taxes and send their children to some other form of educational facility.
My favorite are when they say things like, we're leaving choice, everybody can buy what they want. But then if 80% of the cars have to be EVs and you have 4 kids, good luck paying $150,000 for an electric car that can drive them, right? It's just a total mismatch with what everyday people need versus what these progressive elites in their coastal enclaves desire. And there's just a mismatch. And, you know, people where they live should be allowed to buy what they want. And that's not the position that these people have been taking. But all of a sudden, now that people are paying attention, all of a sudden they're trying to say, I've never tried to ban anything. It's really offensive.
But it's also that Stellantis is laying off all of the workers at their EV plant, and Ford just canceled the construction of an EV battery plant, both in Michigan. So they can't afford, especially when you talk about just Michigan, forget Pennsylvania, they're losing the Arab American vote for 2 different reasons. There's some that are just supporting Trump, and then there are others that think Harris and Slotkin perhaps are too soft on Israel. They're also losing the rank and file of the UAW. Doesn't really matter what the union bosses say. Even the Teamsters, they did an online poll of their members and found over 60% of their rank and file are supporting Donald Trump. These union bosses eventually are going to have to get reelected by the rank and file, so they're not going to go against them. But I think the UAW, they have to know that their members are keenly aware that there are layoffs coming with these mandates.
And I think the crucial thing is, why are they doing the mandates? It's because they pushed all these automakers to make EVs and consumers didn't want them. Ford's EVs are stacking up in lots because nobody wants to buy them. People are turning back in their EVs and buying their next car is a gas-powered car. There's survey after survey that shows that. So to your point, what are the union people saying? What are the employees saying? They're seeing it with what they do day to day. consumers don't want this stuff. The mandates are going to kill them. It's going to lead to layoffs. It's going to lead to consumers not buying these cars. And that's a really bad doom loop. And it's all being caused by these officials who think they know better.
What did Pete Buttigieg spend? It was like $9 billion to build 8 charging stations or something.
That's a great example.
Like that.
That's a great example. They're going all in with billions of dollars. They build like 12 charging stations across the whole country. And then they say the only reason people don't want EVs is because we haven't built enough charging stations. It's like, at some point, maybe the answer is just people don't want what you're selling. Maybe the answer is if you have to spend this much money to try to get them to like it and they still turn it back in to get a gas-powered car, maybe just let people buy gas-powered cars. Maybe just let employees build gas-powered cars here in America.
Well, it's also that, you say, well, how the hell do you spend $9 billion to build 8 charging stations? Well, you got to hand out all these grants so college professors could study how, biracial, transgender, obese people charge their cars versus, I don't know, heterosexuals and cisgender men. So, it's not just that it costs overrun to build the 9 or 8 charging stations. It's that they have to slush this money out to all the interest groups. Every little environmental group's got to get their cut of it. The college professors, the activist groups, they got to make sure everybody's in. They got to make sure.
And don't forget you mentioned LNG at the beginning of this piece, right? Don't forget that even the Department of Energy just came out and admitted that natural gas is the cheapest energy source that we have here in the country. So they're pushing people to EVs while trying to drive the price of electricity up, ban natural gas, and do countless other things. So they're trying to tell people you buy EVs, life will get better, while they're trying to make your electricity more expensive and your car more expensive. So even if you can fit your family in the car, they want you to pay more for the car, more for the gas. They get you coming, they get you going.
At the same time, I'll say this in close. I got a friend who went out and got the Cybertruck. He got the beast mode one, and he loves it. If that's what you want to drive, no one who believes in free market economics is going to hold it over your head. To me, it's not political. If you want an EV, get one. Just leave my Ford F-150 alone.
Let consumers buy what they want.
I agree with you. Thanks so much for joining us.